Okay, the days of sitting at home and starting families and growing families so that each child that comes home starts bringing more money into the household are over. Are they? Well, indications are that all the countries, the Western European countries, are beginning to tighten up their immigration rules, especially those who are getting childcare, as well as trying to deport its illegals. One country which started has had some disastrous consequences because of a change of government. I'm going to talk about that at length. That will be the third one. 3 countries I'm going to talk about. A small request to all of you to please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly do so. Here we go. Europe starts deporting its illegals. What happened? Well, to start with, we had Sweden deporting 22 Iraqis to Baghdad on the 9th of October because their asylum applications were rejected. Once Sweden was known for its liberal immigration policies. In fact, you know the Swedish journalist who came on PGurus, and some disastrous things happened after that. Anyway, so you kind of have an idea what Sweden thinks about immigration. These are illegals, which means they probably came either illegally entered the country or by boats. You understand where it is. They have been held in detention centers, and the deportations were unrelated to criminal activities. So these are essentially illegals. So there is a slight difference, Illegals start living in the country, they start enjoying the benefit, then there is crime. It's not of that kind. These are just plain illegals. Sweden's stricter immigration policies, supported by its conservative government. Now the Social Democrats are out, a conservative government is in place. I think that is helping move this thing along faster. Now the government has laid down stricter immigration rules, and it is also doing frequent deportations. A conservative government has implemented stricter immigration policies, and following an agreement with the government of Iraq, now the deportations have started happening from Sweden. I think more countries will follow suit. Now, the conservative government, supported by the far-right Sweden Democrats, has implemented strict measures, including deportations and tougher work permit requirements. This shift aims to combat a shadow society of undocumented migrants, although critics argue it marginalizes immigrants and could lead to labor shortages. The authorities have indicated that these deportations will continue. Sweden has a very high percentage of foreign-born population, almost 20%. 20%. People from Iraq, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Afghanistan are the most common countries outside the EU. So there is a fair amount of immigration from within EU itself, like Eastern Europe, for example. Now, second country is Germany. Germany has entered into an agreement with Turkey to deport 15,561 illegal immigrants, and they are being sent out on a regular basis. There are 2 types of flights, I'm told. One is a special flight of 500 per flight once a week, and also on a regular basis about 200 are being sent back on regular flights from Germany to Turkey. The problem here is that Kurdish organizations based in Germany are opposing the agreement, saying it targets the individuals who are fleeing the country. Other Kurdish leaders have echoed these concerns, highlighting the risks faced by deportees. Because some of these people came on an asylum visa, is what they are claiming. But I think there's a difference between those who have come on asylum visas and those who have come illegally. Although the illegals might be making a case that they are being persecuted and hence they need to get protection. This is exactly the playbook that many people, many lumpens use in United States also. The Kurdish leaders are criticizing both the Turkish and the German governments for having done this thing, because they think that this whole order ignores the root cause, which is persecution of Kurds. Rising anti-immigration sentiment, partly fueled by far-right parties, adds to this controversy. Now comes the big enchilada, or the big one, 800-pound gorilla if you want, about what happened in United Kingdom. With much fanfare, Rishi Sunak's government and the one before that, if I remember correctly, they had come up with an agreement to send illegals to Rwanda, and the Rwandan government agreed to accept them in exchange for a certain amount of money. And this money was believed to help Rwandan governments find jobs for these people and settle down in Rwanda. In other words, The illegals could be from any part of the world. They were going to resettle them in Rwanda, and the UK government was going to pay a certain amount of money. And this was all discussed, and Rishi Sunak had actually got the law passed, saying that in the long run this will help the economy of UK, and so on and so forth. But what happened was it ran into heavy weather. Many liberal organizations opposed it tooth and nail, and the court struck it down. Then they found a way to get around that and modify the law. Finally, they thought they would do it. In fact, the first plane was going to take off from London for Rwanda, and then disaster happened. Did the Sunak government try and make efforts to get them out? Yes. The detention started in May. They went back and rounded up a bunch of people. Around 35,000 were supposed to have been identified. 5,700 were going to go to Rwanda, and well, nothing happened. The detentions began in May 1st. They were gotten to special shelters. They were processed for leaving for Rwanda, a place called Kigali. And it was like, you go, this batch goes here, this batch leaves, this batch leaves. And unfortunately, what happened was that no flight could take off before the elections. And then that Rishi Sunak lost the election. And now, with a revised treaty with Rwanda, the plan has been completely scrapped by the incoming Keir Starmer government. He says that this is dead and buried. What they want to do, that is the Labour Party, they want to reduce net migration to a couple of 100,000 annually, but avoid setting an explicit target. This is as clear as mud, I tell you. The Office for Budget Responsibility predicts that the current conservative policies, net migration will stabilize at around 350,000 or 3.5 lakhs annually over the next 5 years without further interventions. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think this has disaster written all over it. UK just does not have the money to support so many people. Not only that, the law has been passed now to tighten some of the people who are on benefits. They need to do more things to continue to get that benefit. I'm going to get an expert on that to come and talk to us in more detail on that. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.